For Monday, December 9th. And first up, we'll do roll call and declaration of a quorum.
Tyler Timbrink,
Here.
Chad Gerhart,
Here.
Rosa Cavazos,
Here.
Terry Robinson,
Here.
Ken Corbett, Jeanette Johnson.
Yes.
With 5 members present, there is a quorum.
Okay. Any communications from the public to staff?
We haven't had any communication.
No communications, okay. Any ex parte communications by members of the commission? No? Okay. Any declaration of conflict of interest by members of the commission? None? Okay. Okay, with that, we'll get into zoning subdivision item P24/01 Montgomery subdivision. No, I'm gonna read that next, actually. Your attendance and participation tonight is important and ensures a comprehensive scope of review. It's important that everyone understands the hearing procedure to ensure an orderly meeting and afford the opportunity for all to participate. Public comment is essential to the process and provides much needed information for the commission. The chairperson will call the public hearing item. The planning department will present the staff recommendation. Commissioners may ask questions of staff. Presentation by the applicant and/or representatives. Commissioners may ask questions of the applicant, and the chairperson will open the public hearing. The chairperson will call for public comments from the persons in support of the items, followed by persons in opposition to the items. The applicant will have a chance for rebuttal comments. The chairperson will close the public hearing. Commissioners may ask questions and have discussion, and then take action. Speakers must speak from the podium and state their name and address for the record. The chairperson reserves the right to establish a time limit for all speakers to ensure that everyone can speak. I don't think we'll do that today. The designation of a spokesperson for groups sharing a common point of view is encouraged. All comments and questions will be directed to the chair from the podium and not to the applicant, staff, or audience. When the hearing is closed, the additional public comments are not permitted. And then roll call, okay, yep, and then we'll get into P2401.
Yes, so before I start with the subdivision items, I'm going to do a short overview of the subdivision platting. The main purpose is to organize the land in a way that meets zoning and infrastructure standards, facilitating planned growth and development within Shawnee County. Subdivision is a process of dividing larger parcels into legally defined lots, which is essential for development. It ensures that these divisions comply with Shawnee County's zoning ordinance and relevant regulations. These ordinances set standards for the layout and quality of development. Platting is the graphic representation of one or more lots or tracts of land, or a subdivision, re-subdivision, combination or recombination of lots in tracts. It establishes a legal built site and is generally required before a building permit. There are 2 major components of the platting process, which are the preliminary plat approval and the final plat approval process. The preliminary plat is the initial plat proposed by the applicant, which is reviewed by county staff, agencies, and presented to the Planning Commission for consideration. The final plat is a plat which fully complies with all of the county regulations and has met every condition outlined in the previously approved preliminary plat, making it ready to be officially recorded and legally establishing property boundaries and create new lots within a subdivision. The reviewing criteria and exceptions. So reviewing criteria, we look at lot size, access, zoning compliance, environmental impact, public safety, and infrastructure. Division of land for agricultural purposes into parcels or tracts of at least 3 acres, or division into parcels of 3 or more acres with a minimum frontage of 200 feet on a public road for non-agricultural use without creating new streets is exempt from subdivision requirements. So now we move on to subdivision item number 1, case number P2401 by Ron and Jackie Hutchinson. It is located at 4941 Northwest 78th Street. This application seeks approval for the preliminary and final plat of the Montgomery subdivision, proposing to subdivide a 4.78 acre parcel into 2 lots. Lot 1 will consist of 1.5 acres, Lot 2 will cover 2.89 acres, and 0.39 acres will be dedicated to the county as right-of-way for Northwest 70th Street. Since the property does not meet the minimum frontage requirements for plat exemption, a subdivision plat is necessary to achieve compliance in establishing legal bill side. The proposed replat will create 2 lots, enabling the applicant to use the property for single-family residential purposes. So here we have the location map, which shows the site within the county, and you can see it as where the star is. Next, we have the aerial map showing Lot 1 in yellow, and then we see Lot 2, which includes a single-family residence and an accessory building that is currently there. Then we have a preliminary plat. Then we have a final plat. Staff recommends approval of the preliminary and final plat of the Montgomery subdivision, subject to the following conditions. 1, the execution of additional dedication of the site as a public right-of-way on Northwest 78th Street as required by Shawnee County Public Works Department. 2, submission and approval in accordance with the recommendations of a Class A drainage report as required by the Shawnee County Public Works Department. 3, no building permit shall be issued until the additional dedication of the right-of-way has been executed and the drainage report has been approved. 4, the UGT facility must be located within the right-of-way before work begins. And that concludes item number 1.
Okay, thank you. Would the applicant like to come up to the podium and speak?
I'm the applicant's representative.
Okay.
I'm Jesse Knoll with Land Plan Engineering out of Lawrence. I think she pretty much summated everything. We had a drainage letter. Do they want more than the drainage letter for this?
Yes,
They want a full drainage report,
correct.
okay? And then the UGT facility.
That's the underground
Telephone.
transmission cables
Mhm.
that AT&T requested to have those located before any work was done.
Thought they were on a preliminary plat. I had locates called in.
Okay.
So maybe
I'm
they
not sure
didn't
that's
mark
what they said.
Other than that, I think you pretty much covered everything.
Okay. Any questions of the commission for the applicant? No? Okay.
Nope, wrong one. Let me steal this, I'll bring it back.
Okay. So we'll open the public hearing. Anyone that would like to come up and speak in favor of the project, other than the applicant? Anyone that would like to come up and speak opposed to the project? Okay. So we'll close public comment period. Thoughts from the commission? Nothing in mind, okay. Well,
I'm just wondering what the difference is between the preliminary and the final one. I'm not seeing anything.
The preliminary, it just shows a little bit more detail.
Right, with the, the buildings where they're located.
Right, and then the final is just after any input received from staff or the commission, they would then make those revisions for the final. For this case, there is a second set of the preliminary and the final plat that was revised on Friday, so there was a note on the package that we ended up including those.
does that answer your question, Dan?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Do I hear a motion then?
I would make a motion to approve.
Second. Ms. Second, thank you. Okay, we'll vote.
Rosa Cavazos,
Yes.
Chad Gerhardt,
Yes.
Tyler Timbering,
Yes.
Jeanette Johnson,
Yes?
Ken Corbett, Terry Robinson.
Yes.
With a unanimous vote in favor, the item is recommended for approval and will be considered by the Board of County Commissioners. The date that is set at this point is January 13th, but if they get the Mylars and everything, they can actually go sooner.
Okay, did you hear that? January 13th?
January 13th.
Unless they go sooner. It'll be in front of the Board of County Commissioners.
1 PM,
When is that meeting?
9.
9.
9 AM
Mhm.
here
No,
at 7 Quincy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
okay. Thank you. The next item on the commission for tonight for the agenda is P 2402, LRK 08 subdivision preliminary and final phases, owner Crafts Construction and Landworks LLC. You have a rundown on that?
Okay. It is located at 1701 Northeast 70th Street. The requested action is, this application seeks approval for the preliminary and final plat of the LRK 08 subdivision, proposing to establish a building legal site. The proposed lot 1 will cover 43.01 acres. The existing parcel with only 50 feet of frontage along Northeast 70th Street does not meet the 200-foot frontage requirement for plat exemption. As the property fails to meet the exemption criteria, a subdivision plat is necessary to achieve compliance and create a legal build site. This replat will establish a single lot, enabling the applicant to use the property for single-family residential purposes. Next, we have the location map showing the site within the county, represented by that blue star. Here we have an aerial map showing the site in yellow, which is currently vacant. And then we have a final plat. And staff recommends approval of the preliminary and final plat of the LRK 08 subdivision, subject to the following conditions. Execution of additional dedication of the site as a public right-of-way on Northwest 70th Street as required by the Shawnee County Public Works Department. Second, submission and approval in accordance with the recommendations of a Class A drainage report as required by the Shawnee County Public Works Department. And third, no building permit shall be issued until the additional dedication of right-of-way has been executed and the drainage report has been approved. This concludes item number 2.
Okay, thank you. Would the applicant like to come up to speak?
For the applicants, but
No additional comments?
no, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll open the public hearing again. All those that would like to come up and speak in favor?
He's gonna sign the sheet.
Okay, yeah, sign the sheet.
No, the other one. They're labeled at the top. One's the first turn, the other one's the second. That's why I scribbled mine.
He wrote on mine.
Anyone that would like to speak opposed to the project? Okay, we'll close public hearing. Any comments or questions from the commission?
Yes,
The only-
oh, I'm
Sorry,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
The only question I had was about the driveway being partially in the floodplain. Is that of any concern or not at all?
It's not.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
I'll add to that question to the applicant. Is this gonna require an engineered culvert or tube size to get across the drainage easement
I was told that it would not.
by,
The planning department,
oh,
that what was there has been there for so many years and that they didn't see any concerns with it. There currently was already a culvert and passage over that
oh,
floodplain.
there's existing. Well, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not excited about these skinny driveways, but I gotta give you credit, so I went out on GIS and 1331 Northeast 70th has the same condition. 6743 Northeast Meriden Road has the same condition, and 6650 Northeast Meriden Road has the same condition, so I think we set a precedence, so
Okay,
I'm good.
thank you, Terry. Okay, before, this time when we make a motion, let's make note of the conditions
Right.
that we want those to apply. So would anyone like to make a motion?
I will.
Okay,
I move to approve the preliminary and final plat of the LRK 08 subdivision, subject to the conditions required by the planning staff.
okay, thank you. A second?
Second.
Terry Robinson,
Yes?
Ken Corritt, Jeanette Johnson,
Yes?
Tyler Timbering,
Yes.
Chad Gerhart,
Yes.
Rosa Cavazos.
Yes.
With a unanimous vote of approval, the item is approved and will be heard by the county commission unless prepared beforehand on January 13th.
Okay. Moving on to item G, in the agenda, any public comment on non-agenda planning and zoning items? Okay. Hearing none. Any discussion of planning-related issues from the staff?
No,
Nothing.
none at this time.
Okay, I'll hear a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
That was